Rob is gone. Rob is gone. Rob is gone. I'm going to enjoy playing this game so much more knowing that I don't have to deal with Rob's frenetic energy and last minute scrambling and backstabby kind of everything. Like it's gone. It's gone. The deed is done. The bad news is I had to play my idol. I just felt like it would be better for me to play it and not need it than to not play it and then have everything just bite me in the butt and I'm out of the game.
Well, that is not the outcome to tribal that I expected, clearly, but that is an outcome to tribal that I'm okay with Rob going home. His antics were clearly grinding on everyone else, and while I was riding them and trying to make it work, it would have burned me in the end. I don't think this is a game where you have any right to be a huge baby when you're on the wrong side of the vote. So I'm not going to do that, and I got 48 hours here to do some work.
The last thing Rob texted me before going into tribal council was big moves only. And I would argue blindsiding the biggest threat in the game is a pretty damn big move.
So that went according to plan. I'm a little bit thinking that some people are going to be mad at me and maybe it wasn't my best jury management play, but I think for my own sanity and showing that I'm true to my word is going to be beneficial for me in the end.
I lost to Robert at Tribal. That's been the second time this game that I've lost my closest ally. Not really feeling great.
All right. Let's get to another immunity challenge. Emily, you've already taken it off. Great. Immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, I'm going to name a letter of the alphabet, and you are going to have 2 minutes to gather as many items as you can from your living situation that start with that letter. If you would like to challenge someone's item, just yell out challenge. At that point, the jury and I will vote on whether or not it counts. You get a point for each unique item you bring back, meaning if someone else has the same item as you, neither of you get the point. Your items must be in camera when the clock reaches 0. Any item that's not on screen in camera at 0 does not count. One more quick order of business. One of you received an advantage in this challenge. The advantage was that you got to choose one other person to be disadvantaged in this challenge by making them start with a score of -1 instead of 0. The person chosen to be disadvantaged in this challenge with an automatic -1 is Eric. Okay, is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
So ready.
Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. The letter is S for Shannon. Go. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. Emily.
Yes, ma'am.
Please show and tell time, what you have got. And if anyone has the same item, show us.
All right. I have scissors.
Does anyone? All right, scissors does not count.
Sunglasses. Screwdriver. A spoon.
I see a lot of spoons. Spoon is a no.
Soap.
Soap.
All right, soap is out.
Stapler.
Yes.
Stapler.
String.
Any string?
I have string.
All right, string is a no.
Salt, if you
I
don't
have
believe
salt.
Oh, not that salt.
Sorry, Emily.
it. Sugar, I can also taste it if you'd like me to.
I have sugar.
And then these are Stroop waffles.
All right, Emily has 3 points. Eric, show us what you
All right. We got seltzer,
Got it.
spatula.
Sorry, Eric.
I got sauce.
Is it sauce though, or is it hot sauce?
Hot sauce.
That's hot sauce.
Hot's an adjective.
got. Like to challenge sauce.
If it's sauce, is soy sauce also just a sauce?
The jury has decided that neither sauce or soy sauce counts.
Got sunglasses case.
Challenge.
All right, sunglasses case has been voted down by the jury.
It's cool. All right. We got a sandal. There we go. Got a shoe.
Shoot.
Got shorts. That was 45 seconds of my game with taking those off. And it doesn't really matter, but I have a scrap of paper.
Oh, the jury likes scrap of paper.
Oh, come on.
What?
Kitty.
What?
What? A soy sauce, but not a scrap of.
However, because Eric got a -1 played against him, he still is at a whopping total of 0. Sean, what do you have left?
What do I have left, Shannon? Well, I have a scarf. I have a speaker. I've got a shirt that I did not have to take off my body.
I see a shirt from Tucker.
Finally.
Waste time on that.
The succulent.
Nice, nice.
Anyone have a succulent? All right, Sean has 1 point. All right, Tucker, you got anything left?
A synthesizer.
Ooh, hold on. I think I'm going to challenge that.
It's a synthesizer.
It's a keyboard.
Is it a keyboard?
The jury has voted yes on synthesizer.
It's fine. That's fine.
I have shoe polish.
Is it polished?
I challenge that though as polish.
Yeah, I was gonna say that feels like it should be polished.
No. Here, let me explain. What is a polish?
All right, shoe polish is a yes from the jury.
Well done.
Should we try shoelace, a shin guard, a slipper, sunscreen, a shot glass, straw, socks?
Oh, I have a sock. I have a sock.
Nope, it's fine.
Oh, it's a satchel. It's a satchel, isn't it?
Satchel.
No.
It's a purse. Okay.
Athletic sliders, like
No.
sliders.
Those are compression shorts.
No.
Okay, they're called sliders if you play soccer, but I'll put that in the no pile.
Oh, you have piles. That must be nice.
I have a sensor bar, and then I have something called a sound object. You just flick it, and it makes noise. It's called 1-bit sound object. Sweater.
Oh, I have a sweater.
Oh, sweater's out.
Taking that away from you.
I think you solidly have 10. Claire, you only have 7 objects. Do you want to just show us if you have anything?
Yeah, I want to show you. I really worked hard to get
Okay.
seven objects. Half of them don't even count, but it's fine. This is what I'm calling a slip-on shoe. So technically, but still.
That's a flat, Claire. That's flat. That's flat.
I actually refer to this as a slotted spatula. So again, technically still counts. Right?
I put my spatulas, my slot spatulas, in 2 completely different drawers in the kitchen.
Yes,
How did be the description of that item and it's still just a spatula?
we have the slots though, is what you're missing. You're missing the slots. So a second point for Claire. This is a strainer. This next one is a little scandalous. It's a slip. I refer to this as a snow jacket. I also have silverware and a spoon because I forgot you can't have 2 of the same thing. So I think that gives me like a solid 11 if I counted right.
You did only submit 7 items, but sure. For Claire. Great. Tom, would you like to show us your remaining items?
Sure. So I had a sewing kit,
Oh.
a shoehorn,
Ooh.
You're unique.
spaghetti. I want to put soy sauce back out there. That's a unique thing. Can we get a revote? Anyway. And then a shaker.
All right, everyone.
Bravo, Tucker.
Excellent items. No one even held a candle to Tucker, so congratulations, Tucker. You have won. And
This is definitely a 15-point succulent.
Is it real or is it fake?
This is a real-ass succulent.
All right, yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
congratulations, Tucker. Safe from the vote. As for the rest of you, someone on Thursday will be the 7th person voted out of Survivor Quarantine Island. Tucker, it will not be you. Grab your cord. Head back to camp.
Beautiful.
Good night.
The crack has formed, and me and my alliance of Claire, Sean, and Emily are in a prime position to sweep our way to the end game. And on top of that, I win individual immunity, and I'm safe for the final 5.
I felt good talking to Tucker and Claire. I feel like our 2 pairs, Tucker and Claire, me and Emily, I think we make a pretty compelling final 4. Do Emily and I stay with Tucker and Claire? I feel pretty good about that. Eric has really no leverage left except to try to work with me and Emily. Does the NYC3 make a comeback? Who knows?
I don't know if one of them is going to flip because, to be honest, once we get down to 4, we're going to have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. We can't all go to Final 3 and we can't all win. That being said, I do think that voting at least one more time as a solid 4 is really good for our game. It's either going to be Tom or Eric as far as I know, and I'll just have to see if everyone decides to stay Freud 4 strong.
Today, we received 3 clues. 3 clues for a hidden immunity idol. These have been the hardest clues in the entire game. No one knows what it is.
The latest idol hunt was a disaster. Still don't know where it is. Maybe nobody has it because it seems like it was pretty hard, but gotta act like somebody does. And can't give up the ghost that I definitely don't have it.
I spent hours staring at those stupid Pez faces, and they just looked back at me with those beady, weird little character eyes like they knew something I didn't. The nerve of those Pez dispensers. I hate Pez. Pez is a C-rate candy at best, and I will never look at a Pez dispenser the same way again. It was like I was staring into this, like, 100-faced monster, and every little face knew something I didn't, and they were gloating about it. And I had to keep staring at those stupid faces and listen to the same 2 songs on repeat for like 3 hours. And for the first time ever since quarantine began, I felt my sense of self slipping away into the ether. So no, I don't have the idol.
I am super nervous about that idol that's out there that no one claims to have, not even anyone in my tight alliance. And there's questions around, is it even been claimed yet? Because there are some people that still have a guess left, and maybe it hasn't been claimed, and that it's just going to float out there in the Pez universe, and it will never see the light of day.
So I decided to text Jeff Probst to see what happens if I don't guess. And I learned that I can pretty much hold the idol hostage while not using it, but just retaining my final guess. So if I can make sure that Tom has run out of guesses, the idol is just hidden away in a corner for the rest of the game.
I decided to, as gently as possible, leak out how sure I was that Tom didn't have the new immunity idol. Sean and Emily wanted to do our normal talk. And then they basically told me that I didn't really have a choice but to vote for Tom because Tucker and Claire are going to come for me, and that if Sean, Emily, and I all vote for Tom, then we can get Tom out. I love Tom and really bummed that I have to write his name down, which I was not hoping to have to deal with at all. But that's the way it goes, and sometimes things are out of your hands.
Going into tonight's tribal council, my hierarchy of survival needs is met. The baseline is there. I'm not going home. I am safe. The problem it comes in with Tom and Eric. My path to the end game involves Claire. If they want to cut me out, they're going to need to cut her out. In like one of the billion chances that a 0.10% that an idol is played, I could lose a key ally, and my shot at the final three can evaporate in a single vote.
I still have an idol that I can play, which I'm very much considering playing just because can't take it with you, and it might make me feel like I'll get at least to Tuesday and have another shot to win the necklace on Thursday.
At least without Tom, there's the chance that I can flip to Tucker and Claire, and maybe take out Sean and get into a position of power or into a final three that I particularly like.
It's been hard to get a sense of what the remaining players are thinking. No one's really talking to me much, so, getting that sinking feeling that it might be me tonight. If it's not, then I've got a lot of work to do moving forward, but if it is, then, maybe it'll be fun being on the jury.
Well, guys, final six. Welcome back to Tribal Council. We will now bring in the members of our jury. Krista, Rachel, Julie, Phil, Zach, and Rob voted out at the last Tribal Council. Eric, let's talk about the challenge. You find out right before we start that someone has played a disadvantage on you.
It was definitely surprising, but I didn't hate it. I guess whatever part of the woods where that advantage was found is not a part of the woods that I've been spending much time walking in. So kudos to whoever did that. I guess I mostly hope that person feels bad that they picked somebody that was so bad at that game. As we all very clearly saw, that is not the reason I lost.
Well, Tucker, for you, it was an absolute blowout in that immunity challenge. Congratulations again. How does it feel being safe tonight and guaranteed final five?
I mean, the base safety I have obviously feels great because the more you win, the further you get in the game, the closer you get to that sweet $50. But like Sean said last week, you can be safe, but that stress doesn't go away. Like, there's no part of me that's still feeling great about Tribal Council. I hate being here. Not the highlight of my week.
So, Claire, you didn't get any votes last Tribal Council. There may be hope for you yet. How do you feel?
Yeah, it felt great, honestly. I was really surprised. I guess I just got so used to seeing my name written down that I was definitely expecting to see it again. But I guess, the tides are turning for me, and people are realizing that maybe I'm not the one that needs to be targeted right now.
So, Emily, there's only 6 people left. It's time to start thinking about not just how to get to the end, but who do you want to sit next to in the end? What are your thoughts on all of that?
If you haven't been thinking about that from day one, I don't think you are playing this game the way that it should be played. So I think people are crazy if they haven't been thinking about this all along, even if we are at final 6 now.
Tom, what about you? What's the criteria for you for who makes a good person to sit next to in the end?
I think having dealt with strife thus far in the game, I think there are a lot of people who have had the numbers on their side the whole time, haven't really made a statement or proven anything, which I don't think is terribly inspiring to the jury. The jury are spectators at this point. They want to be wowed.
Sean, you played your idol last Tribal, which released clues yesterday to a new idol. How did the search go?
There are a few things in life that get me especially frustrated. And sometimes I don't even know about them until I'm forced to experience them firsthand. Like listening to 2 songs on repeat while staring at 100 Pez dispensers for 3 straight hours. I hated that idol search so much. Not that it was hard, but like just the lack of like my mental grip on reality that came from doing such a seemingly simple task in such a mind-numbingly, like mentally exhausting kind of way. It was not a fun thing to have to deal with.
Tucker, how did the search go for you? Do you think anyone was able to crack those clues?
No. I think because of the way the game is at this point, it being Final 6, that idol has become the most valuable object in the game. And with how hard the clues were, combined with the fact with how fast everyone was answering or guessing, I think everyone probably burned up their answers.
Well, Eric, I keep asking people about jury management. Haven't until this tribal gotten much in terms of answers there, but you have to be thinking about it at this point, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're in the dead middle of the game. So we are close enough to the end that everyone can kind of taste it, but we're not so far away from old tribe stuff that it's not like everyone has forgotten what's happened in previous rounds and how people have acted. As whoever survives moves on, they might get a little more tunnel vision on the forward-looking part than the backward-looking part, but I think everyone is taking everything into account.
Tom, do you feel like you have a good resume at this point to present to the jury if you do make it to the final 3?
Pending the turnout of tonight, I think it might look a lot stronger. But yeah, I mean, if you go back to the beginning, we made the call early on that Krista was probably a pretty big threat. And then later on, when I still had those allies, we figured that Claire might have an idol and made the choice to flush that idol at Rachel's expense, which was unfortunate, but at least the idol was out of the game. And then making the calculation that Zach was, maybe more connected to a bunch of people in the game than might have been presented on the surface, at least to me. I mean, I'm not unhappy with the moves I've made so far. I do wish there had been more of them, and I hope I've got time to make more.
Emily, what about you? How do you feel about your resume so far?
I feel okay. There was a little bit of blowback from Tuesday's vote, but that had been in the works for quite a while. So I think that I feel pretty good about that move. I have I have an immunity win under my belt, which is always a nice thing to have. But I have kind of reached this zen state about this game right now, where if I go home tonight, then you 5 are way better at this than I am, and you deserve it, and I don't.
Claire, are you starting to see a path form for yourself to the final 3?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's one that is starting to emerge. At the beginning of this game and the first couple of tribal councils, as we have talked about, every tribal council, my name was thrown out, and I had no path for a very long time. And I had to really forge my own path, and I feel like I'm working on making it a trail, if you will.
Sean, what about you? Are you still thinking, or maybe you never were, but are you thinking one tribal at a time, or are you now at a point where you're thinking all the way to the end?
If you spend too much time thinking about what a final 3 looks like, what a final 4 looks like, there's a decent chance that you don't even make it to that point, because you take your eye off the ball and it just blows right past you and you're the one that gets left behind. So it's definitely a balancing act.
All right. Well, for one of you, the path to the end gets cut short right now because it is time to vote. Tucker has individual immunity. You cannot vote for Tucker. Anyone else is fair game. When I call your name, please direct message me your vote on Discord. Okay, I'll go tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately by turning off their video and audio. I'll read the votes. First vote. Claire. Next vote. Eric. Tom. It's one vote Claire, one vote Eric, one vote Tom. Eric, that's 2 votes Eric. Tom, that's 2 votes Tom, 2 votes Eric, 1 vote Claire, 1 vote left. 7th person voted out of Survivor Quarantine Island and the 7th member of our jury. Tom, need you to hold up your torch. Tom, the tribe has spoken. Please.
Good luck, guys.
All right, everyone. Well, we're looking at the final 5. Congratulations. Big milestone. Grab your torches and let's get ready for the immunity challenge.
Sup, y'all? Just had my first Ponderosa margarita. Feeling pretty good. Kind of sucks to have made it this far in the game because the end was sort of coming into view and there seemed to be so many ways to wrap it up and like make it to the end and finish strong. But yeah, just left with a bunch of what ifs now. Like, what if I hadn't teamed up with Rob? Everyone was gunning for Rob, so, you know, teaming up with him was maybe not the best idea, but I don't regret it. He's the person I trusted the most at the time. I'm a little surprised Eric flipped on me, I can only assume, at that last vote, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that was a winning strategy for Eric. Hope he or Claire make it to the end, I guess, because they've got my vote at this point.